What's up, everybody? Joe Gray here today with another AMA warm up where I get to talk to one of our upcoming AMA guests. I am joined by Mark from Flex Marks the Spot today. Mark, what's up, dude?
Hey Joe, how's it going?
Good, man. We're on Monday, right?
Yep,
Uh,
Monday.
Smack dab in the middle of the holidays. The weather's always crazy. Things are nuts. I remember when I worked we'll say, normal job. I felt like the end of the year was a nice wind down, but now with all the content creation craziness, it's never a wind down. So,
Yep, exactly. No, yeah,
yeah,
I was looking forward to the wind down, but I actually am just getting over being sick right now. So it was kind of like, man, grateful for the slowdown to kind of recover a little bit. But it's like kind of like from the content side of things,
yeah,
it's like, man, like all that wasted time that I feel
yeah,
like I could have been productive.
yep, yep. All right, man. So, first question is, who are you? Why are you here?
Yeah, so my name's Mark with Flex Marks the Spot. That came about as a play on the name Mark, just trying to think of something to incorporate like my name Mark and something relating to the gym. So X marks the spot, Flex marks the spot, and that's basically how that came about. So I basically I'm here because I am what happens when you let your intrusive thoughts win, when you have very little impulse control and you don't you're just highly skeptical of everything you read on the internet. So I guess most people probably know me because of some of the big equipment comparisons that I've
Yeah,
done. So I have a big multi-grip cambered bar
yep,
review that I did a while back where I forwarded all of the popular ones and took like a year to review them. I'm doing something similar with safety squat bars, and that's been over a year in the making. Doing the same thing with magnetic sleds, belt squats. So I just um, you see a review online, and everyone always wants to know how it compares to the next best
yep.
thing or the next biggest competitor. And I don't do well with window shopping. I just need to be really hands on with everything. So yeah, that say that's probably my biggest claim to fame here in the home gym world.
Cool. Yeah, yeah. I did the Nordic Combo Showdown where I compared, four of the main ones. And every time a new one showed up, my daughter was like, "Why did we get another Nordic curl machine?"
Mhm.
And she's only 7, and she's already like, "We already have two of those. Why do we need another one?" Because the people gotta know, right? They gotta know.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm sure you having 11 cambered bars at one time was a similar thought process in your head. Even for some of us who enjoy it so much, you still sit there sometimes and go, "This is a little wacky." So,
Hmm.
when did you start lifting? Why'd you start
Hmm.
lifting? How do you lift now? I know you do some Olympic lifts and stuff like that as well. So, tell us about that.
Yeah, so my lifting background started sophomore year in high school. Um, just I didn't play football, but I worked out with all the football players, like in our conditioning class that we had at our high school. So basically, I fell in love with lifting there, and even back then, um, like working out itself was uh was something that I found a lot of a lot of joy in, so from then, I've just basically continued with just some sort of lifting, whether it's sports specific or just general health or even bro lifting, at basically every point in my life. So after high school, it was basically like just bro lifting type stuff. I had a CrossFit phase where I was really sipping the Kool-Aid there, and to be honest with you, probably the best shape I ever was in my life was
Sure.
during that point of time. Got really into Olympic weightlifting. Did a competition there, powerlifting, the powerlifting meet. And yeah, and then now at this point in my life, right now I do want to get back into Olympic lifting, but I'm more just kind of just doing general strength and just general health stuff. So just
Sure.
not chasing any PRs or trying to hit any specific numbers or anything like that. Just trying to, stay consistent with, a lot of the stuff going on,
Yeah.
outside of the gym, and just trying to, just to have time for the gym in general.
Yeah. Nice. And tell people, because I personally I think this matters. What are your best lifts?
Back squat is my best lift. That's always come pretty easy to me. So and just like overall PR ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So it was like a 515 back squat.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, um I'm not at that right now, but that's just more,
Yeah.
more because life stuff getting in the way. But I
Yeah.
honestly feel like it wouldn't be too hard to get back to that
Yeah. And you,
if I really
what's your
locked
best?
in.
Because for quite a while there, you were doing Olympic lift stuff. What's your best like clean or snatch or whatever?
Yeah, so my best man, the snatch one was annoying. I had a 205 in the air overhead. I just and had flipped it over my head. I just couldn't lock it out. So I
Uh,
think technically my highest competition one was like 180 187-ish pounds.
okay,
I don't remember what that was in kilos. But it was like 187-ish pounds.
sure.
And then clean and jerk was like it was like it was two reds. So what was that? That's 255 pounders, so 225, 35, 45, 55, 265 ish.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, it was not too bad, not too bad, but
Yeah,
definitely could have wish I could have gotten a lot better on that,
yeah,
and we'll hopefully get back to it at some point.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, my stance is I don't necessarily care where you're at in your journey or anything like that. I think you have a valid input no matter where you're at. But I know because you've competed in the competition a handful of times, I know your numbers were respectable compared to everybody else's. So I wanted to throw that in there to make sure people knew. Not only do you own a bunch of equipment, but you actually use it. So,
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's definitely why I have so much equipment, is because it's like an ADHD training mentality. It's like, maybe for these couple of months I want to do something, so like I have the equipment for when I was doing
sure.
that, and when I switch over to something else, it's like, it's like I have stuff from that, and you know, it's
Yeah.
hey, I hate to have it and or not have it and need it, than to, have it and not need it.
Yeah. Tell me about your experience with the home gym community. So, have you always lifted at home? Did you, you said you were lifting with um, football team and stuff like that. When did you start setting up your home gym? When did you start deciding to kind of create content and stuff like that? How did that all become a thing?
Yeah, so my home gym, I guess technically speaking, I think in high school we had a bench press set that
Sure.
my brother and I used to just go and, try to see how many times we could rep 225.
Yep. Do
But
the combine test.
Yeah, exactly. So that I think that was like technically like my first home gym, but after that, I want to say my first home gym kind of started right before COVID. So this
Okay.
was kind of during the time I was, really into CrossFit. So I was the gym that I was going to was probably about, I want to say, 25 to 30 minutes away from where I lived. So some days it wasn't exactly the easiest to get there, when it came to weather, or, like if I had to work late, and, things like that. So I wanted to
Sure.
have something at home to kind of supplement that on those days, or like on days, like I don't know, like if I woke up early and wanted to, you know, uh, you know, sweat a little bit or something, wanted to just have, or on weekends, just have something there. So um, that was the start of my home gym, was probably like 2018-ish, 19-ish maybe. So I live in Colorado, and Rep Fitness, actually, I found out about them during that time. I was driving down I-25, saw there was something that said Rep Fitness, and later on, I want to say, like after I had, made note of what that was and always wondered what it was. Saw a Craigslist ad that they had a bunch of used equipment, or like dinged equipment or returned equipment or
Sure.
something like that, like on the Craigslist ad. So saw it was that Rep Fitness place I had seen. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll go check it out. And yep, basically I went in, saw their scratch and dent to return stuff, and bought a barbell, a rack, plates, and a bench. And that was basically all I had. I didn't really use it very often. It was like, maybe once a month, if that, until COVID happened. And then obviously, that's kind of the same story as everyone else. It's
Sure.
like, okay, gym shut down, and got to make do with what you have. And started using that, and then started, selling off little pieces of it to upgrade other things that I would buy
Sure.
on the marketplace, and as gyms kind of started opening up, before I realized it, I had a fully decked out home gym. So yeah, at that point, that's probably when I started, making some content also.
Hmm.
It was I want to say around maybe around 2022-ish, maybe, that I was just I saw some of the stupid videos people would make on TikTok, and I was like, oh yeah, I could do like a little a gym variant of this, or like
Sure.
a home gym variant of it, like the little trends and stuff. So would do some of those, and some of those videos would actually take off, have millions of views, or and just kind of do crazy numbers. So
Yeah.
from there, kind of went from TikTok to Instagram and YouTube, and kind of branched out from there. So and since then, that's kind of been more or less how my content has been. It's been kind of sporadic, kind of here and there. It's like, oh, maybe I should do this. Maybe not nearly as organized as Joe over here, who has like a great system in place. Everything is very well organized, and he has his pipeline that
Yeah.
seems he follows that very well. And
Yeah.
I'm literally like the bizarro version of that, where it's like everything is super random, and it's like, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it.
I was like that for quite a while. And once I started going like, hey, I'm gonna make this like the thing that I do, it it had to be more organized. I went like a year and I don't know if I got anything done. Like I was just spinning my wheels and stuff. And until I laid it out and said like, this is when I'm gonna do this, and this is when I'm gonna do this, and this, and this, and this, and whatever, and started checking the box and moving through things. Because even now, like if I don't open up my to-do list, I start doing other wacky crap. And then I look and I go, now I'm 3 weeks behind, right? Like of what I wrote down to do. So today, Monday, I log in and I go and I look at stuff and I go, here's the thing that I said I was gonna do. That's the first thing up. All the other stuff that I want to do or think I want to do or whatever, like I gotta wait until I get that one thing done. Otherwise, it piles up and I get behind. So, all right, man. Number four for you today. So this is a custom one for you. So you, like a lot of us, you've got your rack and your bar and your bench and your plates and like a dozen of each of those things, right? You got more than anybody would ever need. But you, like a lot of us as well, you're still buying stuff here and there. So, what was something recently you bought and why? And what would make you kind of do that again? So, like, what might happen that would say, hey, I need to get rid of this and get that instead, or add another bar or another whatever, right? What makes you hit that purchase button to add something to your gym?
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I have like all of the essentials plus more, like more than I ever thought I'd ever have in a home gym. So, um, it takes quite a bit to get me excited these days for something. So, it would have to be something that either I think is just really cool, and like it's like from a nerd standpoint, where I'm just like,
Sure.
wow, that's just like a new kid, or like a little kid, in a candy shop type thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something like I just have to get a hold of that because it's
Yep.
so different than anything I've seen before. So much so much more unique, or I don't even want to say better, So recently, I just this year there's a few things that come to mind. So like the VHS bar from Black Widow,
Yeah.
it's like, obviously it doesn't do anything that you can't do with, a straight bar. I guess it kind of does. I guess you can't really hammer curl with the straight bar, but you could curl, right? Or you
Yeah.
could curl with the hammer curl with dumbbells. You can seal row with dumbbells, set up your bar like that. But
Yeah.
just the overall form factor of the bar was just so unique. And from everything that I saw online, like from Jared, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's like the guy who helped create the VHS with Dean.
Oh,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. Him and I DM all the time. So,
Yeah, okay,
yep.
cool. Yep. So like he would just show me a lot of the stuff that he was doing, and I was like, okay, well, that bar is awesome, and I feel like it would make my life a lot easier with some of the things that some of the movements that I do. So that was one of the things, the Freak Athlete Hyper Pro too, Um I had a standalone GHD that I had no complaints with. It just
Yep.
wouldn't use it every training block. Every couple training blocks or so, I would just have to tuck it into a corner and
Yep.
just kind of leave it there. And it sometimes it would just start collecting dust. So after seeing a lot of your coverage on the original Hyper Pro, and then your comparison on all of the other ones, and kind of some of the teasers you started doing of the Pro version,
Yep.
I was like, okay, I feel like this would be a great upgrade, because then I don't have to just use the GHD
Yep.
functionality. I could use a lot of the other like a lot of the other things,
The
so like
back extensions and
the
stuff and
back extension
everything. Yep.
specifically, and a lot of those type of things. Not reverse hyper, and I'm going to die on that hill that is not a reverse
Yeah.
hyper, regardless of how much they want to DM me and
Yeah.
try to explain that to me every time I post about it. But anyways, I love that piece of equipment, and Joe's your review is another one, and yeah. So, and then I guess the usefulness, like the novelty, or like the innovation, like with the VHS, and then thirdly, I guess the other thing that would influence, bring something to the gym is just the cool factor.
Sure.
So I don't know if you've seen these, like those RigMate mag pins.
Yep.
So they really have no functional benefit. They're just sweet, it's like why not,
Sure.
So I got a pair of those, and I love those things. And for no no reason other than they're just awesome.
Yeah.
And once I got my pair in, like seeing like just how much detail was in the like the carving of the head, and then also just the packaging itself. Like they have like a nutrition label, like as like their sticker, but it has all of the specs of like the
Huh.
of like the pin itself, and just
Yeah.
like it's just like it's a little corny thing, it's
Yeah,
just like
but it's super
like
creative. Anything else you're looking at that you have your eyes on for next purchases?
um not really, to be honest with you. I guess maybe a treadmill.
Okay.
I had a motorized treadmill that got I bought this past summer, loved it. It was probably the most used piece in my gym for the month that I had it before it crapped out.
Ah,
Um, and yeah, just haven't been able to replace it, mostly because it'll involve, taking it down to the basement, and
sure.
that's a pain.
Yeah.
Especially, if I want to have a quality piece. So
Yeah.
um yeah, that's probably the next thing that's planned. But that'll I'm just trying to find like a good marketplace deal on that. I
Sure.
don't really want to go through buying a new one again. I
Yeah.
bought a new one for the warranty and everything, and um, it messed up after a month, and I was like, oh, I feel like that's a sign there. So it's like maybe I'll just the cheap $100 one I had before that lasted for years. And I bought it for $100 used. It was a cheap
Yeah.
like a Nordic Track, like not even like their
They're
commercial
good
brand.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that one lasted me years. Like
That's
I don't even
hilarious.
know how many hundreds of miles, and
Yeah.
never did a lick of maintenance on it. And honestly, when it broke, I was like, I'm surprised it took this long. Like
Yeah.
I honestly was not very kind to that one.
It's like with sunglasses, right? You only lose the expensive ones. You buy a cheap pair and they hang around forever, and you can't
Mm,
even lose them if you throw them in the river on purpose, kind of thing. So,
exactly.
yeah.
That's perfect comparison.
All right, man. So let's wrap it up. One last question for you. So, why should people be excited for your upcoming AMA?
Yeah, so basically, for all of you who are in the home gym subreddit, I'm literally just like you. I'm obsessed with this stuff. I'm way too into it. I spend way too much time over analyzing most of my purchases, or not enough time impulse buying on some of them. So if um, if there's anything you want to know about belt squats, like about either like the Road Rhino or the Squat Max, I have them both right now. And ask me anything about that. Anything about the best safety squat bars. I have most of them, most of the major ones, or like the comparable cheap ones.
Yeah.
Same thing, multi-grip cambered bars, magnetic resistance sleds. I've usually tried most of everything. And um, as we went over earlier before, I've kind of done a little bit of everything when it comes to training. So I a lot of that, I take that into when I'm using equipment, or when I'm looking at equipment, when I either buy it or don't buy it. So like that CrossFit experience, that powerlifting
Sure.
experience, Olympic weightlifting, just general lifting. It's like I kind of I've done it all, so I feel like that gives me kind of a good perspective on what to look for in a lot of things. So if there's anything you just want an extra opinion on, even if it's not anything that looks like it's related to my content, just feel free to shoot that over. Maybe it'll be insightful, maybe not.
Cool. All right, everybody. So that's the AMA warm up with Mark from Flex Marks the Spot. Mark, thanks for joining me today, dude.
Thanks so much for having me, Joe, and
Yeah.
look forward to the AMA and talking to whoever decides to show up.
Yeah, so I will put details in the description below so you can check out more on Mark as well as the dates for the AMA itself. So you can come over, ask him questions, all kinds of good stuff, learn about safety squat bars and belt squats and whatever else Mark's got shoved into his basement down there. And that's it. So thanks, Mark. Talk soon, dude.
Thanks.